Hi, welcome to this SQL tutorial video, and today we're going to look at the row number function. The row number function will create a new column of data, basically mimicking this left-hand column here. It's going to return, starting at 1 and going numerically down, it's going to return as a number for each row that's returned in our SQL. So it's basically mimicking what we're seeing here, this little left-hand column that's part of SQL Server Management Studio. We can't use that, so we use row number to mimic it. So if I do, the way we do that is we type row number's function. So we add brackets, then we type over, and then we add more brackets. And between these brackets, we need to give it an order by. So right now we've got order by first name, last name. We don't need this anymore because the row number is going to deal with that. So I'm going to cut that out and I'm going to put it within these brackets. And then I'm going to give it an alias. And if I run that, we now have a new column that is basically this list of numbers here. We've got an order by here, so we can change the order by. So I'm going to say first name and last name descending. So if we run that, you will see now that we've got the first name, but now we've got the last name in descending order. But we've got this row number now within the order that we've put in these brackets. Or I can change that and put order by modified date. And now it's ordered by this. Anything like you would do in an order by clause, you can do anything in here. So let me just put back first name, last name. Now you've got this data, what you can do with it is, if we wrap this around a clause to make it a nested select. Now I do have a video on nested selects. I'll put a link to it in this one. But if we do a nested select, now if I run this, it's going to return the same data. But now that it's a nested select, we can say where my row num is between 1 and 100. Let's get the first 100. And now this is limited to 100 rows based on the top 100 rows, which is fine. So we can do that generally in SQL. But what we can also do is we can say, actually, I don't want that one, the second 100 rows. So we'll say 101 to 200. There's the second lot. Actually, I want the next lot. So we say 201 to 300. Now, that's quite a powerful thing. Now, if we look at Adam Scott and Adam Shah, they are on row 201 and 202. If I were to run our original piece of SQL and go to 201 and 202, we will see Adam Scott, and Adam Shah. So it allows us to use this column to return groups of hundreds or groups of thousands or whatever within our data. So that's kind of handy. We can do something else though. So let us look at, let's forget about that now. In fact, let's go back to how it was originally. Let's see this back. So back to this row number here. Right now the row number is exactly mimicking this. But what would be nice was if the row number reset at a particular point. So let's say I want the row number to count how many last names we've got. So begin the count based on the last name. So this isn't necessarily a very good example, but I'm going to do it for a syntax purposes. What we can add is something called partition. And I'm going to do last name. And if I run this, what you will see is for every last name, the count resets. So Abercrombie is 1, and then 2, then 3. Then it's Aborus, and then 1 and 2. We get to Adams, and there's a lot of Adamses. So now we've got this data, there's a lot of Andersons. When Anderson finishes, we get to Arthur, we get to Aaron. All of our row numbers reset. I mean, that's kind of handy. It might be useful. So what we could maybe do is we can say we can add a nested select again, and we could then say is less than 4, and we can get the first 3 of each. We can get the first 3 of each. There was more Adamses, but there's only first 3 of Adams based on our first name, last name order by the first 3 Andersons. So in this way, we can maybe get the first 3 of any particular last name, or the first 10, or the first 2, or whatever. Might be useful, might be not. That's kind of the end of the video. If you've got any questions, please leave them. But hopefully this was informative, helpful. Thanks a lot for your time. Have a nice day.